The battle rages on in Group A. 2 games being played simultaneously on both A and B. Here on the A stream, you've witnessed Cloud9 versus SK. And the Brazilians did take their map pick. The South American side, SK, are now 1-0, and only the winner will keep themselves not only in the tournament, but will get a ticket to the Spodek. It is a rather intense game for both sides, but the first map does go the way of SK. Whether or not our analysts are surprised or impressed, we get to find out now, because I have Chad Birchall, otherwise known as Sponge, and we have Janko Paunovic, who rocks the YNK. And he has the Twitter handle now, still jealous about that. But on to the Counter-Strike. Let's start talking about this one.
Yeah, I don't think it was a huge surprise, considering that, you know, what potentially Inferno is for SK and for FaZe at the moment. That's what Cash is for Cloud9. It's what teams who play the map pick against them in the first phase most of the time for sort of a punish. And even though it looked good for Cloud9, 5-0 start, SK did manage to consolidate and have a pretty good T side from that moment on.
Yeah, and I mean, T side for Cloud9 was almost entirely absent, to the point, Chad, where we kind of sit there and kind of, you realize the game's over after you see the initial exchanges over on that second half.
Well, they lost the 3v2 on the B-bomb side on the T-pistol, right? That's probably something they should have converted, and the knife frag to finish it off there before that defuse came in. That's one of the rounds that if they wanted to get, were able to get on the board, I think we could have had a completely different looking second half, because the double orbs of Cold Zero and Fallen got online very early, and this is a map where, you know, you can find a lot of picks against, you know, teams who like to default, and that's something that Cloud9, they like to use their skill, they like to spread out and then get picked off every now and again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Love to see it.
Quite dirty.
I mean, we were talking in the green room. We said we didn't even know you could bang that. At least not. I don't know how much.
You can bang anything, Alex.
If you put your mind to it. But I mean, if you see the fact that I don't know how much health HP he had, because there was an assist. I don't know how much actual bullet damage. I'm sure Anders would sit there and give me the exact decimal percentage of how much he can do. But either way, yeah. Talking of the double orbs, Chad. Sorry to get sidetracked by a cheeky wallbang. Cold Zero actually was picking up a lot more than we typically we've seen in recent games.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a Fallen confidence thing that's been going on lately. It's something else that we have to point out, and it was happening yesterday as well in their matches. Bolts is now sitting in the middle. Now, normally, the in-game leader sits in the middle. I'm curious if there's something that's gone on, because they are lacking confidence, this SK team. They do look a little bit shaky in recent times. Is this a change they've made because Bolts is in-game leaded for Immortals in the past?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily, you know, certain of that. Sometimes people change the seating order because of CT size, because of holding, so you want to seat players that hold the same site next to each other. But yeah, it might be a possibility for them to switch things up during the tournament, or maybe it's because of Cloud9 as their opponent, and I'm not exactly sure, but probably best not to speculate before we get a chance to hear from them themselves.
We'll probably just try and sweet talk Stunner into sliding over to the SK camp before this game does end. Now, sliding over towards the Telestrator as well, Janko, you do have something for us quite early in the game, it seems.
Yeah, this was, you know, a reset round for SK Gaming, weak buy for Cloud9, actually a sketch buy. We can pause it here. You can see the double op on Stewie and Tarek. They didn't have much besides that double op, so this is late on into the round. You can tell it's 20 seconds on the clock. SK doing a great job of actually using their utility, but their timing was a little bit off. So you can see there's a Molotov right now at the moment for Forklift, but they're not fast enough to get out of A main. So you can see Stewie goes for an aggressive play. He realizes that's the only way for them to win the round, and he's going to go towards that Forklift area and watch his movement after that. We can start playing it out now so you guys can see it as it unfolds. So that Molotov is starting to clear. He gets the kill, immediately switches his position towards the site, catches Fallen off guard, and then again wraps to the opposite side. And great team play. He has Tarek holding his flank all the way towards Fork, and he secures the round. And I thought this might be it for SK in a sense. You know, you get reset like this, great individual play for Stewie, but SK immediately with a timeout after this round, and they go into a full-on B execute with a lot of utility. They win that round, and basically that starts the comeback for SK. But this was a beautiful round from Stewie, and shows the power of being mobile with the op, and, you know, obviously risky close range, right, running through smokes, but he understood what was happening in the round, and that he had enough time to make those adjustments.
I think one of those things, we saw a lot of smoke criminal plays coming out from both Stewie and Fallen, and we've seen Fallen do it time and time again on that A-bomb site. If you are able to find the timing, you are able to find the positioning, you can get away with that, and it's something which is risky. It's definitely not fundamental AWPing, right, by any means, but when you're in a number disadvantage, you have to make those plays, and those are the big boy plays that win games.
Yeah.
Sorry, please.
Yeah, also the time was relevant, and we saw another round where we saw some cool things for Cloud9. That was an eco round. They have one gun saved, pop flash on mid, good trade happens, boost up. So they were like being dynamic. They were trying new things. They were taking risks. Obviously, they're not gonna just sit and play passive. They realized this is not their best map, so they were trying to get things done. It's just SK showed a lot of poise after that initial 5-6 round streak.
I mean, Cloud9 with a strong start and a very, very poor finish, only managed to get one round on that second half. But talking of Stewie, the smoke criminal, we saw just how good he can look with almost every weapon in the game. We're actually going to take a closer look at Stewie 2K before we get into our second map.
I'd say our team is a little burnt out from CS and all the travels. I think the major finals really drained a lot of CS out of us. A lot of us can't find the motivation to get back into the game, but we're trying our best to just practice and kind of ride the wave and try to do our best here. I think we put all our effort in the major, and at the finals it was really intense. It was really frustrating. There was a lot of emotions. I think after that game, when we went home, personally I played CS a lot, even on my downtime, and I felt like I was just going through the motion, and I was not really playing productively. After we won the finals, there's a lot of people wanting to beat us. There's targets on our backs. A lot of people watch our demos, and they would know what we do, they would steal things from us, and they know how we play. And that would kind of get in our own heads because we don't know if we need to change our playstyle, we need to add new things, or we should just keep playing the same way we've been playing. So it's a tough time for us. Yeah, I think it was a big wake-up call for us at Star Ladder. We lost to tough teams. We got really tough draws, FaZe and SK. Even though we beat both of them at the major, we still know they're tough teams. They're still the top teams in the world. And in CS, I feel like there's really no consistent team. Anyone can beat anyone. Even when we lost, it was almost like they felt accomplished that we lost. So the hardest part isn't to be number one. I think the hardest part is to stay number one. And I'm sure every team agrees. For example, SK, they work really hard to stay at the top. And I think a lot of people underestimate that. I think we just gotta find energy in ourselves. We gotta prepare like we did at the major finals individually. Everyone needs to show up. Everyone needs to bring energy to the team. For me, I just need to bring hype to the team and kind of boost everyone up.
All right, all right.
Stewie 2K there from Cloud9, and actually less of a focus on him, but more of a focus on his team. And it's a discussion that we really, we sometimes get a little bit lost in speculation and ifs and buts, but now we've heard it from the man himself. This is a lot of the stuff that we've been saying before, Chad. You yourself have mentioned that getting to number one, I think everyone has, getting that to number one spot is an achievement, but maintaining it, that's where, your legacy, and that's when your era is established. And now Cloud9 are feeling the other side of that. You succeed, and now there's a big fat target on your back.
Yeah, and the thing is, a major victory, right, is the biggest victory you can have in CSGO, and then coming into a very busy schedule, it's difficult to maintain that position, especially with everybody looking at you like you thought. And sure, I'm sure a lot of us here would agree that that final was FaZe choking. That should have been FaZe's grand final. They should have won that, but Cloud9 pulled it out. Very impressive comeback, and the fact that they stayed composed while star-studded roster like FaZe couldn't means that they do have that mental fortitude that should be able to carry them through in this kind of environment. So for them to be worried about that, there are young players, right? There's going to be a teething period for them to learn how to grow from this. But going forward, I think they just need to not replicate what they did because it's almost impossible, but know that they do have the pieces of the puzzle to win these events.
Absolutely. I mean, Yanko, this is kind of interesting. You've got a team that's undergoing something that SK have already experienced. The winning the major and getting knocked out by Taylor's story we tell often is something that SK have experienced. They've felt the same thing Cloud9 are going through right now.
Yeah, it's true, but potentially, SK was a bit more consistent before their major win in some of the placings. I think you can criticize Stewie to an extent for, saying like we lost motivation. It's not like you were best team in the world or winning tournaments beforehand, but I think on the contrary, you can cut them some slack because it's very difficult. That's such an emotional roller coaster, like playing in a major, like in the playoffs, then winning it, to find the motivation to go straight back into grinding CS, right? It's not just like they didn't go for a vacation for 2 weeks. It's just it wasn't 100% focus, and you have online stuff happening and 2 LAN tournaments, one right after the other, halfway across the world. So I would have personally liked it if we see at least something. If they don't just get knocked out both times without the playoffs, that would suck for C9. But it wouldn't necessarily have to mean that you know, they will never be able to win a tournament again.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, your casters for this one are going to be joining this conversation, albeit briefly, before this game does commence. Mirage is up next. We've got Henry and Matt joining us. Of course, Sadakist, Henry G. Guys, Sui says he was going through the motions after winning that major. And you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with that as well. But, I mean, what do you reckon? What do you think?
I definitely agree with him. The fact that you go from such a massive high and then there's no time to enjoy, right? You've got like, what, a week or so before you're back on the road. It's understandable how that drop, maybe not so much in motivation, but having that killer instinct still having all that energy, all that kind of charisma ready to go for the next tournament. It's difficult to stay on the top, absolutely.
Well, and not only that, they expelled everything they had in the tank. They were out of gas after that. As you know, you need a bit of recovery time, sure, but you'd also think that when they finally overcame that goal, they might use that as an example of moving forward with that confidence. They're certainly going to move forward into this pistol round quickly, and so too Cloud9 started off well, but it gets cold, he runs out of ammo. Stewart, another kill, meaning they sit in a 4 versus 2 against Fallen and Taco. Bomb down, and no kit on either of the two players alive. Didn't catch if there was one inside of the site, but there may not matter because automatic takes Fallen. It looks like this pistol's going to slip away from SK.
Yeah, no chance in this one for Taco, I'm afraid. He'll be left in a 4 versus 1 and trying to find as many kills as he possibly can. It's probably going to be just that one. I say that, he does get a couple there. Nice shots there with the USPs. That's from some wonderful things with that particular weapon on this map. But nice play from Cloud9 there. Very fast execution towards the A site. All 5 players committing. I like that smoke towards the connector. A lot of teams have been running 2 smokes, one of the steps, one a jungle, but they're so poor, those smokes, I think. They've got a massive gap in them, and it doesn't really give you much in terms of finding kills. It actually gives cover to the CTs and wait for retakes. That smoker connector, you can flash towards the steps and actively challenge that area and properly lock the CTs out of the bomb site. So that's quite cool. And we'll see Cloud9, of course, with rifles here available, 3 Galils, an AK-47 for automatic. The scout's out for Fallen, though. Watch out for that, as he has a very slight gap. You won't be hitting any headshots there, but he might be able to get a tag if anyone jumps across towards middle. Fortunately for him, though, all 5 players are poised and ready towards the A bomb site. There will be one player to challenge at least. Bolts is on top of the balcony. And as you can see, this should be a very clean round for Cloud9. Just him there. Fallen smoked out.
Starrick winning, taking down Bolts. Fallen, 9 HP left on the scout as he gets forced away by the AK of automatic spraying through the smoke.
Yeah.
Interesting positioning right now from this man. I was just going to point this out. Tarek waiting on the smoke, knowing that they're going to be behind them, as you say, waiting for the retake. So he'll time his attack, but the smoke's gone. No one's showing face, and obviously I think that's due to the fact that SK are aware they won't have any guns in the next round and would like to save what little utility or armor weapons they do have. So helmet for both Fur and Cold, Deagles for Cold and Taco, and a scout for Fallen for trying to do damage to Tarek, who does go down. CZ wins out the exchange. We'd love to get that UMP, sure, but doesn't have a lot of HP to go around the corner and find it. And through the wooden wall as well. He goes to 14. He's just going to run. It's probably the right call. So 8 players to stay alive, 4 on either side, but the round to Cloud9.
Clean stuff. There we have it, 2-0 for Cloud9, only 1 kill going against them. They did save 2 sets of armor and upgraded pistols, and indeed the scout, so SK not completely out of round number 3, but I wouldn't hold your breath if you're an SK fan. We'll see what happens though. Cloud9 should be in the driving seat here. They're going to have 2 AKs this time and 3 Galils, as one player went down. He'll upgrade to the primary rifle. In terms of the play from SK, 4 players towards the B side of the map. Fallen and Bolts will head towards the window. Tarek and Automatic ready and waiting to greet them. They have snuck behind. This is a really fun little boost you can do every time. There it is. That's exactly why you deploy it. Sui, though, will come in the back and find a couple. So we'll get the opening kill, but Automatic with a nice shot towards short should shut the round down. Fur and Taco make their way towards at least a choke point. Taco, that is. He'll see if he can get anything done with the Deagle here, hoping to find one. Stewie and Automatic should be trading off each other, though, when they commit to this corner. You make sure they go at the same time. Doesn't even matter. Stewie completely obliterates Taco there. 3-0, guaranteed.
So Fur will investigate toward mid, but the round has gone to Cloud9. 3-0 start. I'm sure it's exactly what they wanted on their map choice, trying to force out map 3, which is Inferno, and I think if they do that, there's a great chance that Cloud9 can take it. We know that they won in the major final in double overtime against FaZe on Inferno, and we know that SK has been struggling on the same map. Surprisingly, I still say, because I think they were so good on the previous iteration. Good find for Fur to get 1 kill. Stewie, Ska, and Automatic will sit and concede. They don't really care that he's got a CZ 75 in armor. They're going to buy in the next round anyway. They have more to lose than gain.
For 1 kill. Be another one for him. Automatic will be dropped. There'll be an AK-47 available. So he's on the Scout, Galil, AK. There we go. He will finish the round off with that. That's actually not too bad. So his teammates are able to buy now. The game really begins at this point. Skadoodle brings out the AWP, of course, Ferb. A very nice spawn. He's going towards Palace if he wants to. He'll have time to get in a nice little spot towards that position. He'll throw away the decoy, I think. Or the HE for an incendiary, the looks of things. There we go. Incendiary instead, wants the flashbangs. And he'll make his way across. Spots one. Skadoodle wants to challenge him as well. That's really brave. As he'll spray the smoke, get nothing for it. No one goes down there. Skadoodle looking towards CD spawn. Did fire off a shot, but can't connect either. Standard round from Cloud9. Advantage attempt for the money right now. Made towards the end of the apartments. Doesn't Taco. Little ledge protects him there. Default begins. I'm waiting for any sort of aggression.
Bomb's going to be transferred from Skadoodle's hands into Tarek's, and Skadoodle will take his presence to the B apartments. See if the op can find a shot toward B. Taco is the one who's waiting. Cold on Catwalk will swing. Does what he can. Snake down to the corner underneath the windows for anyone waiting as well, but they'll back off, not going to commit. Bombs actually dropped all the way back in spawn, so with 50 seconds, Cloud9 are being forced to make a decision without much information. They've not really spotted anyone on the SK side. No damage done so far either direction. And no investigation toward mid, no presence, no controlled attempt. So they don't know that Fur's inside of the connector. They have no idea where Fallen's playing. They should be aware that he's not going to be on an AWP based on how the first 3 rounds went. But it's over toward A for a hit. That's blind, and blind not so much in that they're flashed, they don't have vision, but without information and without utility as well. They go for straight contact play. Cap in the smoke leaves Rush in the open. Fallen able to find him and transfer immediately back to Tarek. And bomb being planted by Stewie is going to be left open to Bolts, who oversteps the mark. Skadoodle able to protect his teammate from the CT stairs, or excuse me, the T stairs, A main. Fallen perfectly positioned. What a round he's had. 3 kills. All 3 kills going his way. Tagged down to 2 HP. Therefore knows where Skadoodle is, but the damage was sufficient enough for Stewie to capitalize, and Ska's gonna have to go hunting 1 versus 2. AWP backs off, plays the bomb accordingly. Wanted the information, couldn't get it. Cole gets the kill.
Nice approach there from Cloud9, getting the bomb down. Equal trades, at least at the start of the interaction, but Cold Zero and Taco, especially Fallen as well. 3 kills for him with the M4A4. Couldn't afford the AWP. He manages to push smokes and use the flashbangs effectively, get his way towards Sandwich. He had no idea he was there. And he'll get 3 run and gun kills with the M4A4. And it will be round number 5 now. Money still available for Cloud9, especially with that bomb going down. All power for the first time for Fallen. Some other maps he can do a lot of damage here. CT side especially. Skadoodle's been off the pace of his teammates. He sits on 2 kills, 1 death right now. We'll see if he can warm up to the game. Money not as strong as I'd have thought for Cloud9. 2 players on the Galil. Very good in terms of utility, but that's much better. Skadoodle gets 1 and Automatic with the 2nd. And now 5 versus 3. They have taken a ton of damage here, but they won't mind too much. They can just hold up and run the clock down and see what kind of reactions come through from the CT side here. Try and bait out their grenades. They can just set up for an AXQ, of course. That makes a lot of sense here. Don't have to do it straight away, but they have lost information towards the B side of the map. A player patrolling middle, so they'll probably execute in the next 15 seconds or so and just try and swarm Bolts, who waits on the other side. See the flashbangs come through momentarily with those smokes. Like I said, about 15 seconds or so, there they come. And they'll go in, but they have to negate this incendiary. Rush wants to go through first, but nails the shot.
Fur's behind the smoke. Small gap again, and twice it's Rush that's gotten killed by it. Now, thankfully, this time, it may not cost them the round. Fur, the last alive against 4. Tarek on 26. Stewie on 8. Maybe something to find in that alone. The round, I think, too far gone and a reset, perhaps, from SK. Just 3 rounds, but still a reset nonetheless.
I like how dynamic Cloud9 can be with the AWP. As soon as Stewie gets a good spawn, he's like, just give it to me, I'll go find the first pick. Nails it, takes on the player in the window. There was another towards short as well. They didn't even have to trade other frag. They got a clean 5 versus 3. Back in towards the execute. Nice clean calls there. Textbook Counter-Strike. Find the openings, fall back, execute as a team, and take the advantages where you have them. It was up to SK to try and hold off in the very difficult situation down the A side. Bolts Throws a good incendiary, but Rush goes through by himself. Like we said, he was segregated from his team. He doesn't find that shot. Round could have fallen apart, but he nailed it with the little very confident stuff. And 4-1 comes in. That's a reset round for SK. I have to take a full eco here. It's P250s. 2 of those, 1 Deagle for Taco, and a little decoy he's purchased. We'll see what he can do with that. Not too much. As mid control comes in for Cloud9. Huge lead here if you're just joining us. SK picked up their first map, which was Cash, their pick. Quite convincing fashion. There was 6-1 down to come back, so I'm sure they'll get back into this one momentarily, but Tarek for now looking towards middle. For anyone towards that connector, will they dare peek? So many AWPers on this squad.
Boost for Cold Zero to try and spot anyone with the USP. Now getting closer to that position. First got the first control on the pistol, but he's taken back immediately. Cold wants to strike. He knows they're tagged. They're both tagged. They can take this down on the pistols. Cold gets both kills. Taco's lost in it. But it's a 2 versus 2, and there's guns available on that position. They can't get toward it. They don't know that, and they don't want to go overstep the marking. Have someone peek out late from the boxes. Bolts will take the risk. Bomb down in middle. Stewie, great position, though. Could catch them both off.
Here we go, then. First real test for Cloud9. Stewie makes his way towards window. He has got a guaranteed frag there towards the connector. Takes down Bolts. Cold Zero unable to recover any sort of weaponry from his 2 kills. Bomb is down with those AKs towards shore. If he wins this, I'll be very impressed indeed. He has made the right moves. If he had one of those rifles, Matt, he could probably win this. Double spray down right there. It was going to be a thing, but now he's going to be done for. No way he can find both these kills. He'll get a dink, and maybe get a third. Like I said, if he gets one of those rifles, that round could have been over.
I'm a bit surprised Cold doesn't go for a rifle there. Normally he's such a confident player, especially where Bolts had already slipped up to get one. He could have easily gone. Look how close that AK was. And he
After
never
those 2
left.
kills.
He never left Catwalk, and I don't know why. I think he thought maybe someone was closer behind him in B site, but yeah, that AK was easily grabbable for him.
Certainly worth the risk, at least, just to give it a go. After finding 2 kills in that particular area, there's only 2 players remaining, probably holding the extremities of the map. Execute coming in, and this is great. Cloud9 making some really solid calls right now. When they have complete control of the economy, they know the money's going to be low for SK. Drop in an execute, why not? Do it straight away. Also, good grenade, might find some damage. Quite considerable towards Stewie. As I'll push through the smokes, and he'll know his player in shadow. Completely executes when I say that though, but Bolts comes out on top. This is an absolute nightmare for Cloud9. Everything was going so well, the call was spot on, but Skadoodle and Automatic will at least find some kills in return. Not enough though, 3 players remain for SK, and that is a blunder for Cloud9. They knew exactly where he was. I'm sure it was a CT flashbang that caught them as they went for the peak there. Bolts probably can't believe how lucky he got. Let's have a look at this. So they weren't blind there. That's a straight up miss from Stewie, but the second player was completely blind, as you can see, covering his face. Tarek, unlucky there to get flashed in such a manner. Looking for that trade. If he gets it, they probably win the round. Not going to happen though. The execute, which seemed to be almost the exact call they needed, does not work out for them. And now they can still buy. It won't be the greatest though. Rush 1400, Tarek 2100, but Stewie and Skadoodle, they've got 5,000 and 7,600 respectively. So do they purchase this one while dropping some maybe pistols, MAC-10s, and go for an AWP? They will indeed. Automatic buys the AWP. Stewie gets dropped the AK-47. Rush, Skadoodle, and Tarek look like they'll be left on pistols here. Have a look at Stewie's spawn. It's not amazing, so this is not a spawn-based call. He'll just be trying to open things up. He is definitely more aggressive than Skadoodle generally, although we have noticed he has been a little bit more assertive in the last 6 months or so. Taco throws out that decoy towards middle, buys up another flashbang or smoke, makes his way towards the B site. Looks like a bit of a rush here, perhaps.
Certainly does. For falling toward top mid, they get flashed off and they turn back into the smoke. I thought they were going to fully commit and try and chase them down. Probably best that they did not. Fur's got to rotate around to B. He'll play with Taco. Everyone from Cloud9 inside of the apartments. Just that second round from SK. You can see the benefits on the board because 3C's had 75s after close combat, especially the round prior. In they go. Crossfire set. Taco and Fur coming out on top of it. And Cold, who's been slipped in late toward the bench, is going to make all the difference. And in fact, all of the kills. He gets the third and final on automatic. It goes 5-3 as SK pick up their second in succession.
There we go. Cloud9 up against the ropes now, Matt. That force buy didn't really work out for them whatsoever. They'll be left now with just $2,000 per player. And 5-3 scoreline looking to be 5-4 very swiftly here. Cloud9 will just by one flashbang here probably send the 3 players towards a palace. What did we call this the other day? We called it the triple threat attack. It's going to be a quadruple attack, though.
I think we did call it that.
Yeah. So the idea
We
is...
three kings.
Yeah, 3 blind mice, we 3 kings, yeah. 3 musketeers.
Yep. All for one, one for none. Something like that. Fallen, and for the kill order. As Fallen does get taken down, it's all SK, though. Maybe it is 3 blind mice. Maybe you're right.
Well, there we go. 5-4. SK now coming back into the CT half after losing the pistol, the 3-0. They won the first gun round, and they were completely reset. 5-4 for those listening on the wireless. I've had a lot of tweets recently saying a lot of people are listening to while walking their dog, doing the chores.
Oh, I envy them.
So
Can someone go walk my dog? She's getting a little chubby.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately, yeah, she's up about 1 kilo.
She's taking after you.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Sorry,
All right. Damn, I was having a nice poignant moment about my dog, and you just throw that at me.
No, it's a homage.
Dogs are like their owners.
Yeah.
That's why she's a beautiful diva.
Oh, this push is brutal from Fur. He's going to find 2. Tarek, though, does respond. I didn't think he would with the Galil. Doing a great job there. He does go down to 56 HP, but upgrades to the AK-47 now. Tarek, keep the dream alive. That looked completely spot on there from SK. Good change of pace. It's one of those maps where you have lots of options like that. It's not like a cobblestone where you have to be locked in the bomb site and just doing the same thing, going through the notions every single time. But Mirage does allow CTs to do whatever they want. Taco, he's in towards the palace right now. He's getting information for his teammates. He'll call that A is probably completely open, and I'll imagine that bolts will rotate towards B momentarily. We have got Fallen with the AWP towards shore. As you can see, the site pretty much open for business right now. Fallen will look towards the apartment area, and he's missing his trademark shot. That's normally a hook, line, and sinker for him. We'll let them plant. And now, Cloud9 have a huge advantage here as the retake begins.
Retake begins. Bomb planted, safe side quad open as well toward the apartment position. Stewie reads naturally that someone's going to be coming through the apartments behind them. It's very common, so Taco goes down, but Fallen gets inside of the site, somehow stays alive quite a while. Missed the shot toward bench, but that gave the information to Bolts. Doesn't matter because the Bolts have been screwed by Tarek.
I thought Bolts had the transitioning shot there. Fallen with the AWP almost made things work as well. Good push though from SK, an even better job by Tarek to make it a 3-on-3, going toward that B site. Fallen not looking his usual self in terms of the shot he's hitting now. Jump out the apartment, it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. I say his usual shots because he's normally so spot on with the AWP that he would just nail that and fall back and give them the advantage they need. Misses that shot and that was everything. 6-4. Money going to be weak on either side now. One more full buy for SK after winning 3 rounds in a row. Cloud9 only had 1 player survive, who was Tarek. I assume he managed to pick up the AWP at the very end of the round. Skidoodle has that for now. They took the pause and just working how they distribute the welfare, or lack thereof. Galil for rush. Stewie, looking at his spawn. He's got the AK-47 as well. Okay then. Last few rounds of the first half. 10 already played. Bomb towards A. A split, looking very likely here, the 2 players in the B apartments, presumably going towards the underpass. Indeed they are. Bomb of the A ramp. Smoke going in towards middle, thrown by Rush. He'll join his teammates towards A. As he gets towards the palace, it will be an execution with 2 focusing on the connector. Should be a smoke on the CT side as we watch Stewie's POV right now. He'll be challenging Fur, and he'll be... I thought wrecked. The one-way smoke was working out very nicely there. But Stewie and Tarek do absolutely everything correct here, and Fallen surely will be taken down as well. HP not a factor for Stewie up against the AWP in the connector right now.
Does he know that Stewie is still inside of the smoke? Is the bigger issue. Gets the shot, but he's going to be chased down, crossfired either way. And Tarek, who took down Bolts on the entrance at A main, finds Fallen as well. Taco gets a gift. Tarek runs back directly toward him, but guess what? Now they know exactly where he is. He's in a 1 versus 3. 7-4 looking very likely. T-side as well for Cloud9, their map choice, and perhaps showing us why.
Tries to bait out the drops down there by jumping on towards short. Didn't force the player in window out of position though, and he'll just be saving the M4 at this point. There we go, once again, Stewie opening things up towards that connector. Fur ready and waiting for it, even at the read. Got off like 6 bullets or so before getting his dome cleanly ripped off there by Stewie 2K. Taco desperately tries to save the weapon, as we mentioned. Money weak on either side. Whoever won this round was going to force their opponents onto an eco. And it will be Cloud9 doing just that. Taco. GC M4 in hand, but his teammates with no cash whatsoever. They get $1,400 per player. And Cloud9 know it as well. That's a great chance to celebrate.
Well, with that, it's a brutal situation for SK. Scout for Fallen. 2 M4s. Might as well go for it because they're going to be a double eco.
Oh, yes, they are.
So, Cold will have one of the 2 M4s and Taco with the other. They'll spread out either side of the map. 1 to anchor A, 1 to anchor B. Taco obviously is the man at B. Fallen goes mid with the scout. He's made it work. Gets the shot on Tarek. Posts up lower. Gets a tag. He didn't actually get a tag. Fur did it all himself. Molotov goes in behind them. That's going to trap them in the underpass, but they'll happily run all the way around. Now, knowing that, Cloud9 with only 2 players left will likely go toward A because they know if they are going that direction, they'll run into 4 players potentially at B.
Well, remember this was the force spike. They've got armor now. White falls as well. Automatic will manage to find Cold Zero, but damage inflicted towards Skadoodle. He's on 16 HP, and Fur looking to deny absolutely everything here. Has to be careful though. This round is still very possible for Cloud9.
He's going to hold in mid because he wants his teammates to clear the window for him. They've managed to do so, getting through the vent. Good trade out on automatic trades will suffice at this point in time, and with 16 HP, they steal the round. Fallen, excuse me, the one to open and close it with the scout.
A boost works again. That's the second time we've seen it in this half. Both kills courtesy of Fallen there. 2 of the scout in that round finds the AWP. What a force buy that turns out to be. There's Cold Zero. Average KD differential per map, plus 8.7. That's not bad at all. We'll see what he can do as we go into round 13 here. It's currently on 10 and 7. Smokes, flashbangs available. No force buy here for Cloud9. They know they can buy next round. They want to throw their economy away. They want to focus on winning this half instead of trying to force their way into it. They'll go for the execute with 3 smokes. Flashbangs coming in as well. Fallen, though, normally quite good at holding these ones off. He throws a smoke. They've already managed to get out here, and he missed another close-range shot. Has to rely on the USP here, and once again, Fallen struggling with the AWP and key situations. This might enable the bomb to be planted. Even worse, perhaps, as Skadoodle gets the AWP now. Doesn't see the player crossing over towards the steps. Bomb planted, and Fur will take care of that particular player. Skadoodle missing the shot. Potentially could have got him into the round. Taco will punish him for that, and there we go, though. As far as they're concerned, that's a successful round. Basic execution towards the A site. Or missing all the shots, just a USP of Fallen that finds 1 kill. And we go into round number 14 here. What looked like a disastrous half for SK has been turned around somewhat. Remember, it was 8-7 after going that 6-1 on Cash. They managed to bounce back into it. Colt's good work with the M4. Skadoodle misses out narrowly with the AWP.
Does indeed. 1 round now between them. SK, just 1 back. Can try and salvage this CT side after the force buy and certainly give themselves a chance to wrap this up in 2 maps. Molotov goes in, Fallen runs through it, but he's got smoke at the bottom of the stairs that will be safe from the rest of the flames. He's not safe from anything as he walks out, and Skadoodle waits for him at the top of middle. Good shot on the AWP.
Fur goes down. Skadoodle starting to have some impact now at the start of these rounds. Just the recovery stance, though, from SK. As you can see, Fallen, that's more like him. Does push toward an A round, but I think he outstays his welcome there. Surely had to fall back with that particular play, but he gives it up again.
I don't know why he doesn't fall back on that either, because he has someone in Palace. He's got Bolts obviously there that could have at least watched Connector for him. I think he was worried that they were already inside of the site, so peculiar decision. Bolts does at least get Stewie and keeps them at a 3-3 scoreline, or at least situation in the round. Just the push. Bolts, they know he's there because of that kill. The push toward the site now has to be shut down by Cold.
Tarek narrowly misses out on the intel there. Surely checks this close corner, though. Not meant to be. Cold Zero out-positions him. 3 versus 2. Skadoodle with his 2nd kill in the round. Stands in the open right now, knowing there's a player towards that palace. He'll get towards the steps. As things calm down, the retake will begin imminently.
Skadoodle sitting at the stairwell. Doesn't need to do much in this. Does have a very awkward angle to work, but it's towards CT. He knows now that Cold is there. He's got his teammate watching directly in front of the stairs for him. He takes a wide peek. That gets him caught out, and what a play from Taco. He was ready for Automatic's re-peek.
Can't teach that teamwork, Matthew. Very good stuff there from SK Gaming. Fallen, great shot at the A round, but definitely wanted to fall back there. When you get those kind of advantages, you don't want to outstay your welcome, especially with the AWP. If you get the M4, sure, I'd be thinking, let's explore this idea. But you're right, his teammate Bolt's there, ready to shut it down, get him some intel if required. And he did recover the situation, so that's fine. Stewie had no idea a player could be pushed towards the palace, ran out with his knife out. Double AWP set up to finish things off for SK. They could actually steal the half away. Another pause here for Cloud9. Double AWP set up against them, one of the scariest in the games. Fallen and Cold Zera, the big green guns. It's the final buy for Cloud9. I think they can get 5 rifles, maybe one of which will be Galil. See Tarek 3,300, so he might have to give in a little bit in that respect. He'll just go for the CZ, opting for more utility. He's the game leader, of course, of this squad. Skadoodle goes for the Galil. So SK homing in on round number 8. Remember, they did lose the pistol in the half and got the 3-0 as well, so
Yep.
difficult to recover from. Well played to them.
The heads-up display, the HUD at the top of the screen. I don't know why I said it that way, but I did. Indicating that SK already has map number 1 Fallen. Waiting. He's got just enough in that smoke, you'd think, to find a kill, and he certainly will. Tarek, the one to go down. Stewie will then walk out alone from the underpass, and with a Molotov in his face, won't be able to go very far with it. Good find on Furries, pushed well up towards spawn.
Yeah, again, not using those advantages in their favor. They get the 5-on-4, but Fur gives it up very quickly. No grenades already for Cloud9 whatsoever. They have 1 smoke, 1 flash. That is it. At the 1 minute 20 mark, that's not ideal, but they have got decent map control. Stewie in towards that connector, automatic in towards CPL. So what do they do with it, though? How do they manage to find frags with these advantageous positions they found themselves in? Fallen. That smoke's not going to do too much against him. He can just jump up on the ticket booth. You see a flash come in, he'll probably challenge it just after that. Jump up. And he actually has a decent one-way there. Misses out another shot by him. And his teammate Bolts will have to try and protect him here.
Behind the ticket booth. Fallen wants information. Look at the amount of smoke in front of them. All the way to the middle of the site. No chance even a boost would spawn anything from that position, as we saw it at least, as Fallen goes above. Quick check. Realizes no one was peeking. Now it's safe to stand up there, so he goes back up to look for more. Good find on Skadoodle. Good read. Spots a second toward Tetris. Great shot as well. Cold is aiding in this as it's down to Stewie. What a retake from SK.
Well, there we go. Fallen has been quiet most of the rounds, but that one here is loud and about. He will find round number 8 for his teammates after a difficult trade at the very start. But like we said, after going down 0-3, it's SK Gaming that find themselves 8-7 right now. Looking to find map number 2 and indeed take the series and find themselves in the Spodek Arena is SK Gaming. Will they be able to close it out? We'll find out after this break.
Intel Extreme Masters.
what a half it was. Cloud9's map choice, as you said, Henry, just before the break. They did get the 3-0, but then this sort of play from SK pulled them right back into contention. In fact, they win the half 8-7, Fallen rolling with the AWP. Pressure on Cloud9.
Absolutely, a lot of pressure on their side of the server. They switch things up now and go on the CT forces. They'll have one diffuse, get 3 sets of armor, make it 4 now as Rush joins them. And in terms of the buy for SK, they get 1 smoke, 1 Molotov, no upgraded pistols, 4 sets of armor. A lot of teams do favor that A bomb side, but SK like to go against the grain. They'll be sending 3 players towards middle right now. An A split definitely possible. They could smoke in front of the CT side of connector. Fallen will be the one with the utility. He currently resides outside the A ramp. As you can see, he's got the bomb on his back as well. He'll be lining up a smoke. Looks like he's going towards CT spawn. In it goes. Smoke deployed. I'll have a Molotov as well. When he decides to use it, that's yet to be seen. He's actually going in towards jungle. His teammates ready and waiting towards middle, but so is Skadoodle, crouching right now, trying to avoid any sort of damage. And it looks like the CTs have got a huge advantage here. The Glock's not going to be doing too much at that range. Taco, though, from the Palace, does find one in return. Bomb should be planted at this point.
And it will be. Held by Fallen. Bolts to get aggressive on jungle. I say aggressive, he's going to be passive-aggressive. He's going to sit inside of the archway but not peek out to the corner. Knows that it's not a safe place. So he'll stay where it is. Gets a good shot on his Skadoodle as well. He could challenge this. Skadoodle's backed off, low HP, wants the headshot when he runs around the corner, but good win from Bolts. Taco now standing on Palace will be aware that they're running up the ladder. He's heard Tarek and gets positioned accordingly. Great round. It's just automatic, and with 22, make that 12 HP. Surely goes down with that many players to face him. 9-7 for SK.
Yeah, they can feel this slipping away. Cloud9, what do they do now? Bomb planted, and they're going to force in the second round? I'm not sure. We'll see. Nothing purchased just yet. The meta dictates they will. Which they do. CZs. SK there. Clean round towards A. We saw 1 smoke towards CT spawn. Molotov at the jungle position, and the A split came in. I thought the CTs had the advantage of the USPs. They'd hit more shots than what they did, but not meant to be. And the CZs have to come out in full force here. Stewie with this scout. Fallen waits for the UMP towards the Palace area. Taco joins him with the AK-47 here. 3 rifles. And it looks like an A split will be coming in momentarily. You can see them setting themselves up. Smokes go in, and Skadoodle gets nothing done. He does get a dink, though. Fur will have to fall back and let Bolts go in next.
Good find immediately from Bolts when he does go in to get Rush. Tag to Fallen. Got hit.
Might just be worth
From
a save,
Stewie. You're right. Again, similar situation to what we saw in the first half. The CTs not even putting it. Won't be able to do anything in round 3, so they'll save what they have. Although it seems suboptimal, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, it means you still have armor and the scouts. It's definitely worth saving. There's no point in running in and giving everything up when the round is just out of your grasp at this point. You know you definitely can't win it. 3 players against 5. You've got a bomb to defuse as well. No kits. It's just not plausible, is it? So all 5 players for SK will stay alive, albeit slightly tagged up. Fallen and Fur down to 12 HP and 6. We'll see Bolts on 58. Here we go then. Bomb will go off. Everyone survives on the SK side. 3 for Cloud9. Rush and Skadoodle are the casualties of round number 17 here. They won't be able to force buy again, but like we said, saving these weapons at least gives them something to work with here. As we get into round number 18, should be another simple procedure for SK. Still going to be a challenge here. The Deagle of automatic is something to behold. We'll see if we can find anything here. I'll check the scores while we're allowed to. A lull in the action. Rush 6 and 15. A player who was instrumental to their major victory. One of the best players for them. Yeah, absolutely. 6 kills. Not ideal. Tarek 8. And same story for Skadoodle. So we'll see if they can find any sort of kills here.
Going out in 2 consecutive group stages is a real possibility for Cloud9 after winning the major. I'd say 2 consecutive. There was obviously CS Summit in there as well, where they did make the final. But it's fallen considerably since that time. No pun intended, as they're against Fallen. It would be for the 2nd week in a row, 2nd tournament in a row, able to defeat Cloud9 in the best of 3. 6 rounds to find their T side, mind you, to do that. This one should be a simple affair, given that they're against the pistols. Stewie, even with the scout, holding his USP behind the smoke, expecting company. Bomb planted cleanly. He'll start to work back in. This time they can justify going for it. You could argue that Spirit needs to save his head armor, give him a little bit more the next round, but it's been taken off by Taco, who's got a whole lot of players in front of him, but can't hit the shots. Cold's going to try and take advantage of the noise, the chaos, the commotion, and slip in behind them, and he does exactly that.
He certainly does. It's a sneaky beaver, that one, Coldzera. There it is, clean round for SK. The first full gun round now for Cloud9 will come through. Here's that Mac 10 action, farming all the money he needs to going forward in this half. Timeout active. By SK here, working out how they can really dominate the second half. Win this round, you're up 5-0. It will almost certainly mean a full save going into the next round. We'll have a look at the CT's buy. No kits map and 5 players of our helmets. That means that UMP and the Galil will be very deadly indeed. So SK are going to try and orchestrate their way into this round victory. If they do win it, they've got tons of cash, obliterate their opponents. And Cloud9, the morale doesn't look amazing over there at this point. Cloud9's allowed to talk, and what will the play be? Skadoodle has the AWP. Remember, no kit. Can't really afford to let a bomb go down here. The utility isn't great. No defuse kits. Of course, what kind of stance will they take? Will we see one of those aggressive rounds? They try and get an initial pick at the very start towards the underpass, something like that. Time will tell, Matthew. As SK home in on the series victory and get one step closer to the Spodek Arena.
Scar waiting in the window with the AWP is actually going to take a very, very passive approach in the thought that mid's lost. There's no support system from Connector or Cat, and if they get up Catwalk, he wants to catch them off. They're all inside B, but not going Catwalk at all.
Here we go then, the execute comes in, Tarek to defend. He has to find at least one hit. He will do that, and then the teammates going to be committing from SK here. Remember, no helmet, so the UMP and the SMGs become very powerful indeed, but they're not actually approaching this in the most effective way. Coldzera gets one, but that's going to be the round done, surely. Automatic still alive with full HP, and he sneaks by one of them, takes down Coldzera, and this execute has done nothing there for SK. 2 caught up in the apartments, and pretty clean round there. Only 1 player going down, and he already found 3 frags. So Tarek, well done, good position, and keeps the dream alive, at least for now, for Cloud9. Money still available here. That's definitely what we'd call a bonus round of a UMP and a Galil there. Have tons of money going forward. Tarek, though, actively challenging. Teammates smoked out of the equation. Came out one by one. Couldn't all attack at once due to the utility usage of the CTs. Here we go then, the round that really matters. Cloud9 need to make sure this one is clean as well. Both teams all in. Whoever wins this forces their opposition onto an eco. Fallen looks towards the A ramp. Anyone crossing over towards the steps? No one to be found. Rush. The safer route. Coldzera with the bomb towards middle. Automatic. The box is beneath shadow. It's a nice position. It's a challenging one. You can avoid the Molotovs, but you have no movement there. The ceiling very shallow. If anyone challenges you, you can get 1 kill, but you're crouched perpetually. So you can't actually move at any sort of speed. It's more like a turret.
Cold Fur and Fallen to evaluate the situation in middle. First gun round goes to Cloud9. If SK can win this, they'll give themselves a fantastic close this out, and a great start. They're already down middle. Connector takes Rush. Skadoodle responds immediately. Everyone is on the A side. Full rotation from Cloud9, and they've got the bomb. A great situation for them to be in if they win back-to-back gun rounds. Well, close this out on their map choice as they get to 11-9 and 4 players staying alive.
There we go. Very well done by Cloud9. Strong defense there on the A sides. They do manage to have a very clean round indeed. Only 1 player goes down again, and SK might have to take the eco here. Fallen does bring out the scout though. What has he got off his sleeve? Bolts with the armor and the deagle. Not going to be going all in. Just going to have a bit of a partial buy here and see if they can find those 1 deags. They're definitely always going to be dangerous with these sort of rounds. Fallen, same play again. Uses that scout for anyone to cross over. Not going to find anyone just yet though. The flames blocking his view somewhat, but not the same story for Skadoodle. I'll find Coldzera towards mid. That's one of those deagles going down. He should be able to have a free run at the map right now, knowing they've just got pistols and indeed that 1 scout.
Fallen trying to find an angle. Okay, fair enough. Did hit the first shot somehow on the scout, but does hit the second, and that means Bolts can nade underneath and take care of Stewie, but all for naught. Or is it? Oh, look at Taco go! Down goes Ska. Rush as well, found through the edge of the box, and First found by Tarek, but a deagle certainly looks remarkable. It go to the scout, unfortunately, and losing his teammate in the situation doesn't aid in trying to win the round. Still looked pretty, at least, coming out from Palace.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. Keeps him relatively modest, and Skadoodle just make sure he gives his compliments towards Taco there. Some very nice shots indeed. Bullets, 2 kills, 11-10. Cloud9 closed the gap now. SK timeout. A second one used so far. Player stats for Taco, 15 kills, 10 deaths, ADR of 58. You'd think the scoreline suggests he had a higher ADR than that, but maybe just mopping up some of those low HP players. In terms of the buy, SK certainly can. They won't be ecoing here. They've got average about 4.3, 4.4k per player. So AK is coming out. They can afford an AWP. They really wanted to go glass cannon, I think, on one player. Doesn't look like that'll be the call made, though. There's Dead, the coach of SK, more of a managerial role. Doesn't bring a huge amount of tactics or strategy in. I doubt he even does the demo watching. He probably is just there to kind of keep the morale up and make sure everyone's bicker free and making sure the comms are good and calm. Towards A, SK will go. 3 players at least. Make it all 5. Decoy goes in first. Oh, he's dropped his gun, thrown the decoy. Suggest I haven't got a rifle. I'm full eco, bro.
This is clever. We talked about why don't teams do this more frequently. So they don't want Cloud9 to know that they have the AKs.
It's a very commonly known play, but it's interesting just to know.
They aren't being so many unorthodox positioning that's took place in relevant positions toward CT stairs, toward the top of the E stairs of jungle, and then they'll get smoked off accordingly. So execution's fine from SK if they can get the bomb down, but it's going to be a 5-5 post-plant situation. Cold posting it up close enough that it can be watched from A main. Still no kills. Oh, the smoke dissipates in Fur. He's been waiting with patience behind the ticket booth. Only managed just to get one. Skadoodle finds an angle in return. Rush double checks to make sure no one's wrapped around behind them in mid. Guess what? There is. There's 2 players. Fallen and Cold. They won't have a direct lineup toward the bomb, so they'll have to fight for their territory with Tarek and Rush. Does Bolts bother swinging to aid in that fight or not? Because he still has to worry about CT stairs. Fallen, good find. He's found the first toward that exact position. He follows it up. Now Skadoodle's forced inside of the site. Automatic with 1 kill in return. Certainly can help Skadoodle get toward the bomb, and he might do more than that because he's gotten Cold Zira as well. Fallen's gone to window. Low HP, get them off the bomb. That's all he has to do. Rounds 1 at a time alone.
They will survive, the 2 players on the CT forces. Not the same story for SK. They only keep falling up there. So, good news for Cloud9. They bring 2 AWPs into the next one, and their money remains strong. It's automatic. It does the damage in that respect. Can't win the round, sure, but great frags towards these positions. Through the box, we didn't quite catch that. And we'll see whether Cloud9 can reset SK fully here. Remember, their money is going to be very low. After so many players went down. Taco's just on a deagle, in fact. Bolts on the Galil. Double up setup, full buy for Cloud9. In a great position just to shut down the money and tie things up here. We'll see what kind of round comes through. No AWP for Fallen really on the T side so far. Tarek positioned himself towards short. Good flashbang at that. Sui should get both frags here. And he certainly does. Both headshots, and that's a 5-on-3 as quick as that.
Good shot, Stewie.
Yeah, 3 kills already.
Brilliant to walk down and catch them off in that position. 12 for SK, but as you said, this could be another desperate situation, having bought in the last round and then getting reset this time by on the other side of the equation. If they've won this, or if they can still win this, they would reset Cloud9. That's not looking likely. Cold down, all 5 alive for Cloud9, and all with 100 HP. Not even any damage dealt.
Nothing at all. That's what you like to see there. Cloud9, like we said, win that one, which they do very cleanly. All thanks to that man on the screen right now, Stewie 2K. Perfect flashbang towards the underpass. They were wrecked by that. He could just take his time, find both the kills. Fallen cowering in the corner. They're going to take a force buy here. This could open the window of opportunity even further for Cloud9. They are all in. CZs, P250s, armor. Fallen just down to 300. He didn't even buy any armor there, so he had next to nothing. And he get 1,400 bucks here. They can try and focus towards the B side. Could work out, but there has been an incendiary thrown. They have to wait for all their execution here. Automatic playing on the balcony along with Tarek on another incendiary. They'll hear that go off, so they won't commit just yet. Flashbang comes through. Tarek with the orb. Flashes go in. Here comes the play.
Oh no. Oh no. The flash didn't bounce through the door. It blinded all of them and doesn't even come close to blinding Tarek.
Whoops. Full eco now. Cloud9 looking to take it to a third.
That was brutal.
So the flashbang misses, gets all of them. Tarek just has a shooting gallery. We don't even have to aim. You just aim down a straight line. Shoot and fire. Let's keep going.
Ridiculous.
Move forward.
With that, you're right. The third map is looking more and more likely. Automatic as M4, 2 AKs carried over for Rush and Stewie. Double AWP setup as always. I shouldn't say always, but for most of this half, since they've had the money to do so, certainly. Bomb waiting outside of Palace as Fur goes the underpass, and the Eagles to find brilliant shots. That's all they can rely on at this point in time. If they want to walk in from A main, don't even have any utility from it. Fur's gonna get the AWP, but that's taken back immediately by Automatic. That's the chance to strike though. Get them while their guard's down, while they're distracted elsewhere. It doesn't work out. Good hold from Cloud9.
Got a bit dicey there with the Glock finding the first kill on Skadoodle. He gets an AWP, but thankfully, Cloud9 are able to shut it down quickly. Taco. Use that Deagle once again. I don't think he finds success to what he did before. He does get one kill. Might even get a plant out of this map. That would be great for his team. That's an extra $800 per player. It does work out. Doesn't matter what happens now. Gets another kill. All right, take it back. Very similar scenes to what he did before. Some a few more bullets, but bomb planted. $600 for those 2 kills on the Deagle. And 800 extra for everyone on the team from bomb just being planted there. So that's actually very well done. Their money's going to be okay at this point. Orb can come out. Got enough for rifles across the board. Not done just yet. All for Fallen.
Not done just yet, but a large deficit in front of them. Not just the one round, but the fact that there's money available for Cloud9, win or loss on this one.
Lopez says that Taco has an underrated Deagle. That's it. That's all he wanted to say.
Okay. Does he mean like the pistol? Because that like could have been really nice innuendo.
Possibly. I don't know. B rush though, map. Are you ready?
Smokes out. Flashes as well. Automatic tries to hold it. He will successfully. And a trace bolts all the way to the ground, but then snaps up, finds Cold. He's looking for an ace, and Automatic's got all 5. And that was against Guns.
Okay. Well, you're struggling in the game. You go for a straight up B rush there. No Molotovs at the van. You can see, like, sure, this is great work by Automatic. Like, 1 by 1 again. In fact, he's got a chance to reset his aim so much, and even pull out a Deagle and find all those frags. It's a little bit disappointing from SK, but we're known as a very tactical team. That could be the game in itself. Not a single frag picked up for SK there. Automatic. He will have... Oh, this is over the event. So, second ace of the event. Not too bad. I think that one's quite significant. I think it's a full buy. So far. Fully equipped AK-47s. Rushing B. No Molotovs, no flashbangs in towards his position. He just mows them down. Very well done.
Very well done indeed. Cloud9, 2 rounds to go. Back to pistols. Automatic. Currently sitting now with 28 kills after that ace. He was already in the lead. Extends that over Stewie. SK are going to have to face their demons in the depths of the Scorched Inferno.
I think it might be coming, Matthew. They're going to take an absolute, well, not force, but they go for partial here, trying to see if they can find anything. This is one of the most tenacious teams in CSGO, though. Cloud9, certainly not that. We'll see whether they can hold on to this lead they have right now. Smokes towards B. Not going to be rushing this time. It's a bit of a ruse. You can see the bombs ready and waiting towards A. They'll throw all the utility towards the B bomb site. Automatic, make it a double.
Double indeed. Falling down. Bolts is starting to work his way in. Does have the bomb, but not really anywhere to go with it. Stewie's underneath the Palace balcony in shadow. Oh, well, oh, good find from Fur. Fair enough. Didn't think he would get anywhere near getting that kill. He's down the AK, but this round's already, I think, a foregone conclusion, and it certainly is a shut case now. 15 for Cloud9. They'll stick with the double op. I really don't have to tell you that. They've had that forever in this round. Only 1 gun round for SK. Started out with that 3-0 start on this second half, but only the 1 gun round in round 7.
Yeah,
and it's all
Cloud9
Cloud9
have looked excellent. Automatic especially finds his 30 kills, and I'm not sure SK can hold on to this one. Fallen with the great spawn towards middle. No armor, doesn't decide to take it. Instead opts to go towards B bomb site.
It's always confusing. Round 22 overall, 7 in the second half, excuse me. So, flashes to the top of middle, Molotov to force off Fallen. We'll get an angle to spot in B.
Overtime their only option now.
And even that's going to be a challenge.
Oh, absolutely. Cloud9 are playing impeccable CS right now. Fallen and Co not so much. I'm not really a huge fan of the calls so far.
Fallen's growing out that beard. Look how thick that looks on camera.
Dense.
Skadoodle working on that blue steel.
Nailing it.
Working on nailing this shot is what he's going to try and do. Smoke down in his face. He won't be able to do anything with it. Find from Stewie. Catches Fur trying to work in from connector in middle. Cole and Taco. Each to their own as they work somewhat in tandem. But on adjacent sides of mid, one on Cat and one down below the window. Cold will hold from Catwalk to make sure that window does not get occupied by Cloud9. Walks out straight contact rush with the exchange. 2 men to the good already for Cloud9. 40 seconds for SK to try and make amends with the differences that they've had, and unfortunately those differences far too great. Bomb goes down, Fallen only hits 1. Stewie slides out, and Cold Zera soon to be done. I think we head to Inferno any second. In fact, Skadoodle confirms it. Well done, Cloud9.
Very well done indeed. That was certainly the Stewie and Automatic show. They looked impeccable on their CT side. Good mixture of aggression and solid crossfires and overall teamwork. Very impressed with that. And Matt, you mentioned it before. SK have looked shaky on their Inferno in the last few months. Can Cloud9 take this one and go to the Spodek Arena? I think they might be able to do it.
The Spodek Arena is certainly a place to behold. We'll see which team's going to get there in one map between them. Cloud9 steal back their own pick. But now SK have a chance to take the series overall. We'll be back in a minute.
Intel Extreme Masters.